welcome back. We have another one for you. Let's watch the game and then we'll replay the game and we'll analyze it step by step, shot by shot. But first, watch it and see if you can pick up any mistakes, anything I do wrong, anything that you would have done better, anything that could have been done better if I had done this or that, or if I hadn't done this or that. And that's how we roll around here. It's how we've been doing it. And that came about as a suggestion from one of my viewers who said I should do that. And then when I did it, they said, yep, that's the ticket, that's the way to go. Because it becomes more interactive for you guys instead of me just telling you, this is how to do it, this is what I did wrong. It's better for you to try to figure out what I did wrong before I tell you what I did wrong. That's how we roll. Let's do it. Thanks for tuning in. Alright, here we are. This is what we do. Let's look at this table. We don't plan 3 balls ahead. That's what everybody else seems to want to tell you guys, to plan 3 balls ahead. We plan 9 balls ahead, and we don't shoot the first ball until we have all 9 balls figured out. That's what the pros do, so we try to do what the pros do. 3 balls ahead, if you think about it, and we'll get into this one day, 3 balls ahead is going to get you in trouble. At the very, very minimum, think 4 balls ahead. That's minimum, man. You should start every game knowing exactly what you want to do with that cue ball on every single shot. It doesn't mean you have to be precise and perfect on every single shot. And you're probably going to readjust your plan as you go. It's what you do. It's ask any of the top pros if they plan 3 balls ahead, and they're gonna laugh at you. The only time they do that is when they're shooting at the 7 ball. So they're playing the 7, 8, and 9, of course. But yeah, 3 balls ahead. That's Amateurville, man. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get on with it. The one, it looks like we're drawing the one to keep it from getting tangled up on this side. I mean, we could just put top on this ball and try to get around these balls, but they're going to, it's the cue balls have to hit one of these 3 balls here and get stuck, and we can't predict that. We're not fortune tellers, so we're going to try to keep it away from these 3 balls by drawing the one. The 3 is a problem. There's, as I said in the last video, there's always at least one key shot, one key ball in every single rack that's either going to stop you from running the rack, or if you do it right, it's going to allow you to run the rack. And it's very, very often the 3 ball. 9 ball comes down to the break when you hit a certain level, but past that, it's all about getting past that key ball and getting past it right, not just, hoping for the best, but doing it right. So the 3 ball's tied up with the 6, and I'm looking for a way around this combination, but there isn't anyway. I'm going to have to shoot this combination. Once that's accomplished, if we can keep the 3 ball from getting away from us, and that's another part of the key shot, is keeping, it's not just making a combination, but keeping that 3 ball in control and within reasonable shot, which I think I can do. It all depends on the exact position I get off the 2. 3, 6, and then 3, 4 is right there. 5 shouldn't be a problem. The 6 is going to be down. The 7 ball is a problem. Getting from the 5 to the 7, shoot it in this corner is probably the thing to do, but I might not be able to do it. The 8's right behind the 7, and the 9's down here. It's all about the 3 ball, folks, so let's roll the bean footage. We gotta turn the volume down. This is me looking for, you can see my sticks pointing at this, trying to find an alleyway to where I don't have to shoot this combination, but I finally concede to it and say I ain't gonna bank the 3 ball. I'm gonna have to shoot that combination, and if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know this is not my favorite situation. Yeah, we're drawing this 1 ball to keep it out of here, and it should go to this route, yeah. And that's fine. It's, this is another draw shot here where you're drawing it away from hitting the 5 and just keeping it bouncing up. Oh, yeah. You got to be careful here. You don't want to hit a ball, which I did, but it didn't hit it real hard and it didn't disturb it too much. So here we are on this combination. You should always take a little more time on these. You don't want to destroy your rhythm, but you absolutely have to focus all your energy on making this combination here. It's going to take a straight stroke, and again, you don't want that 3-ball getting away from you. If it just stops where the 6-ball is, that's fine with me. And that's why I put a stop shot on that, because I knew it was going to stop right around the 6. It bounced out at an inch at the most, but we're good, man. Look where the 4-ball is. All we have to do is, yeah, stay up high on that, because we have to get down to the 5. I make a little mistake here and put right top on this, and when you're shooting over a ball and you're jacked up like this, you don't want to put left or right on it unless you absolutely have to. because it's going to mess, say, the ball a little bit. And since I'm putting right-hand English on it to hug this rail, which is kind of stupid because you want to be center table on the 5 to draw back for a shot on the 7. I didn't want to shoot. I wound up shooting the 7 in the side, and it's a lot like the last video I published where I have to roll down to get as straight as I can on the 7. You'll see when it comes up. But going back to the point I was making, it's fine to put top English on a ball that you're jacked up on, as long as you're hitting the center ball, center top. But you certainly don't want to put left or right English on it because it's gonna make it way more extreme than if you were just shooting with a level cue. So let's see how jacked up I am. And that's jacked up enough to massay that ball. You might not be able to see it with the naked eye, but I'm putting right-hand English on it. And number 1, it's gonna deflect the cue ball to the left. And number 2, after the deflection, it's gonna curve it back around. Very touchy shot, and I recommend not doing it. And we didn't have to do it. All we had to do is put top English on this and come to center table. But I screw up here, and I put a little bit of right-hand English on it, and now I'm straight in on the 5. And yeah, it's a terrible position. I just got a little bit stupid on that, and I should have came out the center table, but I didn't. So now we have a problem. We can't get back on this 7. I mean, we could draw it all the way back down table and all the way back up. But and I mean, if you're Mike Massey, go ahead, but you're probably not. And if you are, Mike, how you doing, Mike? Thanks for tuning in. So right now I'm looking for where I need to be to get straight in on this 7, and that's what I'm pointing to right here. So I have to move the cue ball this much, and I'm risking a scratch by going down to the bottom round. I might have enough of an angle to bounce there, but I don't think I do, so I'm just going to have to risk the scratch. And yeah, I can see that it's an issue. It's an issue. Just top center, no left, no right, just top center. And just if that pocket was any bigger, it would have scratched. So now this demands a very straight stroke, and what I do here is I plaster my left hand, my bridge hand, down on that rail. If you could feel the amount of weight I'm putting on my bridge hand, you'd think I was crazy. It's like I'm trying to crush that rail. And for some reason, I'm not sure why, but it helps me keep a straighter stroke when my bridge hand is plastered down on the table as hard as I can get it. I don't know if it's going to show up here in this video. It might show up in the veins in my arm. It's not. Believe me, that even though that pinky's not touching that rail, which it should be to add more security, I'm putting a ton of weight on that hand. And that helps me keep a straight stroke, and I got perfect shape on the 9. That's a touchy, hard little shot there in the side. And that's how I don't know what it does. I think it just puts all my energy into my hand, as stupid as that sounds, to where I can't put any energy into negativity or thinking, just leaving any amount of doubt into my brain to where it's like, oh God, what if my stroke's not straight here and all this other shit. There's just no energy left to put into doubt. when I put it all into my bridge hand. Does that sound crazy? Does that sound crazy to you? Try it. It helps, especially when you're shooting off a rail, and especially when you're shooting at the 9-ball. Put a little bit more focus into that bridge hand to where you can't put focus into stupid shit like twisting your wrist or whatever. I got perfect on the 9, and there we are. Just whatever you do here, don't draw this ball. A lot of people draw this for some reason, and they wind up rattling it. I've seen it over and over and over and over. And I've done it when I was young. I used to do it over and over. There's no reason to draw this ball. It's going straight. I don't know why I'm pointing to the screen. You can't see. It's going straight into this rail if you put top in it. There's no scratch possibility. So, but don't even put top in it. Just put center right and let the cue ball just run its path. Just don't slam it. And that's it. And you will make that shot way, way more often if you usually draw it. Just make sure there's no possibility of a scratch, and just use the rail as a net to add more insurance to when you shoot that shot. A lot of stuff came up there. I have no idea at this point what I'm going to name this. Thank you guys for tuning in. There's another video. This is what we do for you new subscribers who just joined us. Go back over the playlist. There's so much information there, and I'm absolutely positive that some of it will help your game and will pinpoint what you're struggling with. And thank you for giving me your time and trust. YouTube subscribers are not easy to get, and I appreciate every single one of you. That's no bullshit. Thanks.